Good morning, winners. In today's video, you will learn how to pluck a lace frontal that is really dense. This frontal is really heavy and has not been pre-plucked. A dense frontal is one of the hardest frontals to pluck because there's a lot of hair around the hairline, so there's a lot of work for you to do. If you have frontals that are pre-plucked, it definitely saves you more time. But if you don't and you have a frontal like this, I have a few tips and tricks to show you that'll make your frontal look as close to flawless as possible. For this tutorial, you're gonna need a comb, tweezers, clips to clip the hair out of the way, and a spray bottle with water. When tweezing hair like this that's very dense, it's better to tweeze it when it's wet. And the reason is, when tweezing, you can take out a lot more hair with the hair wet as opposed to when it's dry. I know that some of you are beginners when it comes to tweezing, and you may or may not have any idea where to start. If that's the case, it's better to work in sections. So when working on a frontal, you can split the hair up into about 5 sections, 2 on the side and 1 in the middle. And when you do that, it just makes it easier for you to manage the hair. Whenever tweezing, always move the hairline out of the way. Never start tweezing directly on the hairline. And the reason is, the hairline is like the most important part, and you don't want to mess it up by plucking too much of the hair directly on the hairline. That can either make or break this style for you, so just leave some hair out on the hairline before tweezing. This right here is the first section that I'm working on, and I'm starting tweezing directly behind the hairline. What I'm doing is I'm taking small sections, like horizontal sections, teeny tiny sections, and I'm plucking some hairs, and then when I'm done with that section, I just make another small horizontal line behind that section, and I do the same thing. I pluck, and I keep going back like at least a few times until I comb the hair back and it looks more like a natural hairline than it did before. One thing that I make sure that I do is I'm constantly combing the hair back to see how it lies, just to make sure that I don't over pluck. And I'm spraying the hair one more time. Okay, so I just pluck the hair in a horizontal way, right? I'm combing the hair back. Now I'm taking slightly like angled sections and I'm plucking again. And this is to get some more hair out. The reason I'm doing it this way is because I caught it in another YouTube video and I thought, wow, this is actually a pretty neat idea. And I tried it and I really like the result of plucking this way. So first horizontal and then now vertical, now slightly at an angle. Now I'm on the second section and I want to show you guys a slightly different way to pluck it. I mean, it's the same but slightly different. So instead of starting plucking directly right behind the hairline, I'm plucking a little bit further back, and I'm still making the horizontal lines and plucking that way, but instead of starting from the front and moving to the back, I'm starting more towards the back and moving towards the front, and I'm combing the hair back to see how it lays.
That's good.
This video is pretty long because I'm playing it in real time, but I wanted you guys to see exactly what I'm doing as I'm plucking without speeding it up or slowing it down. Now, when you're plucking your frontal, the best advice that I can give you is to just watch it. As you're plucking, look at it and see if it looks natural to you, and constantly comb the hair back, because at the end of the day, when you put your frontal on, the hair is going to be combed back. So keep combing the hair back and see exactly how it's lying, because that's how it's going to be looking when it's on your scalp, when it's on your head. Okay, so at this point in time, you guys can get the gist of how I pluck, and maybe you can go away with a few ideas of your own. Take and leave what you need from this video. Don't take everything that I say to heart. Do whatever works for you. At this point, I'm going to speed up the video. I'm just letting you guys know in advance. That's because I don't want this video to be like an hour long. I want you guys to see the finished results pretty soon. So here we go. Okay, so here you guys see me on top of the head. This is like the third section, the middle section. And I'm very careful about this part because this is really the part where a lot of people see. I don't pluck as much as I do on the sides because you have to think about it. When you're plucking frontals, you want it to last. And if you pluck way too much hair in the beginning, the frontal's not gonna last as long, because as you wear the hair, as you wear the style and you manipulate it, you style it on the head, it's naturally gonna lose hairs anyway. So you don't want to pluck too much hair in the beginning. So as I mentioned before, in the middle of the head, I don't pluck as much hair as I do on the sides.
When there's no more light that you can see, I'll take us back to time.
And here's the best part. If you want to really see how the frontal is gonna look, put it on a white towel, just lay it out flat. And right here you see me spraying it down because I'm really gauging to see exactly where I need to pluck some more. So it looks like on the right side could use more plucking in order to balance a little bit more with the left side. So that's what I'm doing right here. I'm just plucking some more just to balance it out. So this part is important, you guys. I learned this trick from Peak Mill. She's amazing, by the way. So what I'm doing is on the hairline, I take really small zigzag sections and I pull them out. This is because a natural hairline doesn't look like this. And when you do this technique, doing this zigzag motion right here and pulling hairs out in the front, it makes the hairline look more natural. And I'm not even pulling that much hair out from the front. It's just small zigzag pieces.
I'll drown us in The purple drapes that you were clothed in, we could live like royalty. I'll sing to you like a radio that's held beneath your window. Don't look so sad, your crying eyes won't dry. You've gotta drive with both headlights so we can see the world and we'll run away together like
this is pretty much what I do to make my frontal wigs, you guys. This is how I do my frontals, and this method is definitely beginner friendly because you're working section by section instead of having to battle a whole frontal at once. If you have a frontal at home and you've never tried it, or maybe you're a little nervous, try this method and see how it works out for you, and comment down below and let me know exactly how it worked out, you know. This, ladies and gentlemen, is what the frontal looks like before it's got to be glued on or styled. It looks very natural, as you can see. When I turn my head left, when I turn my head right, you can see how natural the hairline looks, and that is exactly what you are going for. You want it to look like you have some dips and creases in there. You don't want it to be hard or dense.
Are you listening?